Hello and welcome to lecture 2 in the series of lectures on engineering thermodynamics. In lecture 1 we started with basic concepts of thermodynamics. So let us quickly revise what we learned in lecture 1. We defined thermodynamics as a branch of science which deals with the energy interactions and the effect of these interactions on physical properties of the system. Then we have seen what is thermodynamic system and boundary. Any region in space or quantity of matter where observer will focus attention for thermodynamic study, that is called as system, and real or imaginary surface that separates the system from its surroundings is called as boundary. Then we have seen different types of thermodynamic systems: closed system, open system and isolated system. In closed system, energy can cross the boundary but mass will not cross the boundary. In open systems, both energy and mass can cross the boundary of the system, and in isolated system, both energy and mass will not cross the boundary of the system. We also have seen what is control volume and control surface. For open systems, to focus attention for study, we need to select certain fixed volume in the system, that is called as control volume, and a surface surrounding this control volume is called control surface. Homogeneous system and heterogeneous systems. Homogeneous system is the one in which matter is homogeneous in chemical composition and physical structure, and in heterogeneous systems this is not the case. Matter is not in homogeneous chemical composition and physical structure. Also we have discussed what is continuous substance or continuum. The substance which has abundant number of molecules is the continuous substance or continuum, where we can apply the theory of continuum. Yes, so let us continue with these basic concepts in this lecture. So in this lecture we will see energy, state and property, classification of properties, thermodynamic equilibrium, zeroth law of thermodynamics and state postulate. So what is energy? Energy is nothing but the capacity to do work, and work is said to be done when any body changes its motion. It is very important to note that we cannot observe the energy directly, but we can evaluate by using the different property changes like the pressure, density or electrical resistance, etc. As per the law of conservation of energy, we know that energy exists in different forms and it may be transferred from one form to other form, partially or completely. And energy may exist in transition due to the potential difference, or it is in the form of internal energy. Whenever energy crosses the boundary, then we used to say that it is in transit, and when energy is stored in the system in equilibrium state, that is called as internal energy. So let us elaborate what is internal energy. Internal energy of the system is the energy possessed by the motion of the molecules at the molecular level. So it is the total energy possessed by the molecules. We know that molecules have different forms of energy, like they have motion, they used to translate, they used to rotate, vibrate. So they possess some kinetic energy due to these motions, and also molecules have some potential energy also, that is the bond with the nucleus, attraction and repulsion forces. So if you sum up these two forms of energy possessed by molecules, then that will be called as internal energy of the system. So internal energy is summation of total kinetic energy of molecules plus potential energy of the molecules. What is external energy? External energy is the energy possessed in the external gravitational field. These can be of two forms. One is potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy is the energy possessed by any substance due to its position. Like if it is kept at certain height z, then it is given by mgz, potential head, and energy possessed by the substance due to its motion is called as kinetic energy. If it is moving with certain velocity c, then it is given by 1/2 mass into velocity square. So for total energy possessed by any system, we will have to sum up the internal energy plus external energy. Hence, the total energy here you can see is given by internal energy plus kinetic and potential energy at the external gravitational field. So this is the equation which will give us the total energy possessed by the system. State and property. What is state of a system? State is simply the condition of the system, and this condition is mentioned or indicated by some observable and measurable characteristics. These characteristics can be the pressure, volume, temperature, likewise. So these combinedly will define the state of the system. What is property? Property is thermodynamic coordinates representing the system. Like at any given state, system has some fixed properties, like it has some pressure, volume, temperature. So that will define the state, and these properties will be fixed for the particular state. So they have unique value at a particular state of the system. Again, these are not dependent on path followed by the system. At one state, system will have one fixed value of property. Like at state 1, it has pressure P1. If state is changed, its pressure is changed to P2. Now between these two states, whatever path is followed by the system, that will not affect the property at state 1 and state 2. Hence these are exact differentials. Classification of properties. The properties we can classify into two types. One is intensive property and extensive property. Intensive property is the one which is independent of mass, and extensive properties are those which are dependent on the mass and size of the system. For example, mass, volume are dependent on the mass of the system, but pressure, temperature, density, etc. are not dependent on the mass of the system. So these properties can be simply identified by dividing the system into two halves. Like we have one container in which certain fluid is placed, and if I divide that into two halves, then those properties which will be affected can be called as extensive properties, and those properties which won't be affected will be called as intensive properties. Like in the diagram we can see mass is reduced to half, volume is reduced to half, but temperature, pressure, density are not changed. So these are intensive properties. So based on this criteria, we can classify different thermodynamic properties into intensive and extensive. Here are few examples. Intensive property: pressure, temperature, density, concentration, melting point, boiling point. So all these are not affected by the mass. Though mass is changed, all these will remain unaltered. Extensive properties: mass, volume, internal energy, heat capacity, enthalpy, entropy, etc. So these are affected by the mass and size of the system. Next is thermodynamic equilibrium. What exactly is thermodynamic equilibrium? we used to say that system is in equilibrium at that particular state. So thermodynamic equilibrium can be assured if we assure that system is satisfying three different types of equilibriums, and those are thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium and chemical equilibrium. So what is thermal equilibrium? When the temperature of the system is not going to change with respect to time, then the system is said to be in thermal equilibrium. So system has achieved the same temperature as that of the surroundings. Mechanical equilibrium. If there are no unbalanced forces in the system, then mechanical equilibrium is said to be achieved. And chemical equilibrium, if there are no chances of any chemical reactions, then the system is in chemical equilibrium. So if all these conditions are satisfied by the system at any given state, then we used to say that it is in thermodynamic equilibrium. Now, different thermodynamic laws. So zeroth law of thermodynamics, it says that if two thermodynamic systems are each in thermal equilibrium with the third one, then they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. For example, body A is in thermal equilibrium with body B, and A is also in thermal equilibrium with body C, then B and C must be in thermal equilibrium. Best example of this zeroth law of thermodynamics is thermometer. In thermometer, tip of the thermometer, mercury and body whose temperature is to be measured can be considered as body A, B, C, and then tip is in equilibrium with mercury always. So when tip will become in equilibrium with the body whose temperature is to be measured, then mercury must be in equilibrium with that particular temperature of the body, so accordingly it will expand. What are state postulate? State postulate is the term used in thermodynamics that defines the given number of properties to a thermodynamic system in a state of equilibrium. So when system is in equilibrium at a given state, at least two or more independent properties must be mentioned, so that we can get an idea about the state of the system. So like in this example, you can see a gas is placed in piston and cylinder arrangement, nitrogen gas. So here its temperature is mentioned and volume is mentioned. So these are two independent properties which must be mentioned so that we can get an idea about state of the system. This can be anything. It can be pressure, temperature, pressure, volume, or temperature, volume, anything. So these properties are called as state postulate, which gives us an idea about the state of the system. So we will continue with these concepts in coming videos. So thank you and all the best.